Could your CoinFLEX cash be kept locked up for another year? Well, quite possibly, and you might have Roger Ver to thank. Welcome to the Daily Forkast, July the 11th, 2022. I'm Joel Flynn. CoinFLEX losses are much bigger than we thought, and it could take 12 months to get back. Celsius is still trying to stave off bankruptcy. 3AC isn't cooperating with creditors, and Mt. Gox may once again be about to rumble crypto markets. This is what's happening from Asia to the world.
Join thousands of NFT traders who already start their day on CryptoSlam.
CoinFLEX account holders may have to wait a year to get all of their money out. The trading platform is moving to try and recoup $84 million from one individual customer. That is believed to be the Bitcoin Jesus, Roger Ver. Last month, CoinFLEX boss Mark Lamb claimed that Ver owed them $47 million. Ver, of course, denied that. Liquidating that position, though, has apparently cost CoinFLEX almost double. CoinFLEX is trying to reclaim the $84 million through arbitration proceedings in Hong Kong, but that could take 12 months. CoinFLEX suspended withdrawals for customers on June the 23rd. Account holders may be able to take out 10% of their money in the next week or so, though CoinFLEX has said it's trying to work towards those ends. The platform's Flex coin has fallen over 93% since June. It was trading at just 29 cents as of 10 a.m. Hong Kong time. Anyone who still hasn't taken their money out of Celsius may still have big reasons to worry. The exchange has hired new restructuring lawyers as it tries to stave off bankruptcy, according to the Wall Street Journal. They are from the same advising firm that Voyager Digital is using. The lender's previous lawyers reportedly advised it to file for bankruptcy. Celsius last week changed some of its board of directors, though. Restructuring services provider John Stephen Dubell was kicked out just 8 days after he was appointed. Losses at Celsius have been estimated at more than $350 million. That is according to blockchain analytics firm Arkham Intelligence. It said Celsius used over $1 billion of customer assets in highly leveraged trades. Arkham also claimed that attempts to save those trades at the start of last month likely forced Celsius to have to freeze customer withdrawals. The report also said Celsius lost more than $100 million to hackers. Forkast has reached out to Celsius for comment. We haven't, though, heard back from them yet. Keep an eye on crypto prices, as we could be set for big moves ahead. While we've seen less volatile swings in prices over the last couple of weeks, Bitcoin was down heavily this morning, 4% lower over the last 24 hours, falling to $20,600 US. Ethereum, meanwhile, down almost 5% to $1,150 US as of 10 a.m. Hong Kong time. The big risk is coming from looming crypto dumps, though, from both Celsius and from Mt. Gox. Here's Forkast's Lachlan Keller with the details.
Mt. Gox is moving closer to releasing funds to its creditors, with the exchange's rehabilitation trustee sending out an email last week giving them the option of receiving US dollars, Bitcoin, or Bitcoin Cash. They could see 137,000 Bitcoin worth roughly $2.8 billion US going back into the market. Added to that, Celsius has repaid the remaining $41 million US balance on its loan to MakerVault. The crypto community on Reddit noted that this means the company now has wrapped Bitcoin worth $500 million that could also be dumped into the market. Putting the two together, some have theorized that Bitcoin's price will fall further as a result. One expert told Forkast that as Mt. Gox creditors have been waiting so long, they may wish to hold on to any Bitcoin returned to them. However,
the worst case scenario would be, a majority of those people decide to sell down their Bitcoin. This obviously won't happen all at once, but as a result of that, there would be, downward price pressure in the order books on exchanges.
Cassidy says that where Celsius is concerned, it depends where the liquidations happen.
If they happen on-chain through a decentralized platform, the damage would be a lot worse because the market orders would be executed to liquidate the transactions, the loans, and to margin call them essentially.
Meanwhile, Ben Caslin of crypto exchange AAX says it's wrong to speculate too much over what could happen.
I think the worst case scenario is that this becomes a media event rather than an actual market event and a liquidity event. It's just a media event, and we all start becoming, fearful and worried. And I think that's the worst case. I think the best case is that we really become more and more rational in the market and more focused on the long term.
One other key event ahead is the Ethereum merge, which marks its full transition to proof of stake. That's expected in August, and some are now suggesting that's when we could see the flippening happen. The flippening is a hypothetical event where Ethereum's market cap overtakes that of Bitcoin. However, Caseland doesn't buy this idea.
I understand that there is always the potential for a flippening, but Ethereum and Bitcoin really do move in unison still. And also, of course, Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin over the past 2 years, let's say. But there's no guarantee that the merge will go well. There is no guarantee for Ethereum as a layer 1 protocol. It does very well. It's linked to Bitcoin. Confidence in Bitcoin usually means confidence in Ethereum. I think it is extremely naive to think that if Bitcoin undergoes a massive crash, that somehow Ethereum will thrive.
As for the market overall, Cassidy says that it moves in cycles and he thinks the worst is over.
Previous returns don't indicate future returns. However, if these 4-year cycles stay true, then it's a great opportunity for people to enter the market and to continue to accumulate these assets.
We will, of course, be keeping watch on all the market action for you. I'm Lachlan Keller, Forkast.
There's more reason to worry if you've been involved in Three Arrows Capital. According to court filings in New York, the hedge fund's founders aren't cooperating with creditors there. That is as part of liquidation proceedings in the British Virgin Islands against 3AC. According to CoinDesk, concerns are growing that the company's assets are being moved to try and stop them from being used to pay people. 3AC's office in Singapore has also apparently been abandoned. That comes amid reports that blockchain.com could lose $270 million from 3AC. Blockchain.com boss Peter Smith has said, though, that the company is not at risk. If you want to find out what's happening with your crypto accounts, you'll hear it here first. Stay up to date by liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Head to Forkast.News, meanwhile, for more analysis on what it all means. There is a link in the description below. So, are there more firms exposed to the contagion? Let's find out with Annabelle Huang, managing partner of Amber Group. Annabelle, we continue to hear more about these big names, Voyager Digital, Three Arrows Capital, Celsius. Is the contagion still spreading as far as you're concerned?
I think this is a continuance of the event that probably happened 3 weeks ago when first news of these platforms being insolvent first broke out. We're just seeing the story continue to play out from the Chapter 11 bankruptcy filings. We're able to see a bit more into their financial situations. So I think, we were all interested to see how the event unfolds and how essentially they're going to make their investors whole if they could.
How surprised were you to hear about the huge exposure of Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda research to Voyager?
I would say, at least maybe from where we sit here at Amber, we're not surprised to see that. I think we're aware that FTX or Alameda, they were working with Voyager before, and it's no surprise that as a market maker, they are borrowing from the market, including from Voyager. But I think what this shows is how closely connected everyone is. And for a lot of the users or investors, they might be directly or indirectly exposed to Three Arrows at the end of the day, even though maybe they think they're only lending to some other platform because I think in this market, a lot of times liquidity are just cycled through the same players. So I think now a lot of the investors are a lot more careful with their credit due diligence, not just looking at who they are directly facing, but also doing a bit more homework on, who their platform are also working with.
In the last few weeks, we've seen fire sales in assets, prices plummeting, seemingly more news of this contagion spreading. Crypto firms are obviously struggling, though. Is this just the tip of the iceberg? Are we likely to see more of these sorts of headlines?
I wouldn't be surprised if there are more names in the news. I think every week we're hearing some new names at the moment. But I do think at least the bigger size or the bigger balance sheet guys are already out there because it would be harder for them to hide. The contagion is still playing out. We might see some other smaller names that come out. But I think the bulk of the impact are already being felt by the market. And everyone, us included, we're hoping we're close to the end of it.
All right, many thanks for that. Annabelle Huang, managing partner of Amber Group. And finally, could an NFT be soccer's most expensive ticket ever? Well, Ligue 1 winners Paris Saint-Germain are offering tokens for $220,000 a pop. That will get buyers VIP tickets to exhibition matches on their tour of Japan this summer. As part of the deal, they'll also get exclusive access to players and to parties. PSG, though, are offering some cheaper tokens on top of that. The French champions, as we know, are owned by the head of Qatar's royal family, and they've been pushing forward aggressively with a series of NFT drops over the last couple of years involving star players. Many will no doubt be closely watching to see whether this latest move pays off. Do make sure you stay tuned with us to find out if that's the case. All right, that's your daily forecast from Asia to the world. Follow us on Twitter for the latest updates at Forkast_News. Until next time, I'm Joel Flynn. I'll see you then.